Welcome, everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to find the circumference of a circle and how to find the area of a circle. How are we learning it? Through the finding the area and circumference of circles notes and the finding the area and circumference of circles assignment. When can we use this information? To determine the square footage of a housing property that you are interested in purchasing. How do you know you learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the finding the area and circumference of circles assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. After that, we'll go over the finding the area and circumference of circles notes, and then I'll give you time to complete the finding the area and circumference of circles assignment. Once you've completed the assignment, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your Before You Go. Your only homework for tonight is to continue working on the geometric modeling study guide and any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the finding the area and circumference of circles notes. The notes begin with the learning goals and success criteria. Now, let us have pi. So pi is a symbol that represents the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. It is approximately 3.14, although it is a continuous decimal. Continuous means it goes on forever. So it's 3.14 ... and it keeps going. Now, for this purpose, you will not be using 3.14, though. You will always just leave it with the symbol pi for everything that we do. A couple formulas for you. The circumference is 2 pi r, or it can be represented as pi d. R represents the radius, or the distance from the center of the circle to the outer edge. And then d represents the diameter, so the distance from one edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle that passes through the center. Now, the area of a circle is pi r squared. So again, r represents the radius. So it says find the circumference of the circle. So it's 2 pi r, or pi d. In this case, they gave us a radius. From the center to the outer edge is 2 inches. So we're going to go ahead and use the radius form. So that's 2 pi r. So that's 2 times pi times r. The radius is 2. Now we multiply 2 times 2 and we get 4. And we leave pi exactly as it is. We're not going to multiply it by 3.14. Just leave it like that. So it's 4 pi. And then don't forget your units. It was in inches, so it becomes 4 pi inches. Now, if they give us a diameter, so this one is 8 all the way across. So we can use this as pi d, or we could take half of it and create a radius. So half of 8 would be 4. So we could plug 4 in for r, and it works the same. But we can just use this one. So this is pi times d, the distance all the way across, and the distance all the way across is 8. So this becomes 8 pi. And then again, don't forget your units. They did it in yards, so it is 8 pi yards. Now there's a video here for you to check your work when working with the circumference of a circle using Symbolab. So go ahead and watch that video now. Let's take a look now at how we can use Symbolab to check our work when finding the circumference of a circle. So we go to Symbolab and then go to the circle calculator, and then we're going to click on circumference. And all it needs to know is what is the radius. So let's say the radius of this circle is 4. We go ahead and put in 4 and then click go. It shows us now that the circumference is 2 pi r, and it shows us how to multiply it out, 2 times pi times 4, which it tells us at the end becomes 8 pi. So our circumference would be 8 pi. So this is how you can use Symbolab to check your work when finding the circumference of a circle. Now let's take a look at how we find the area of a circle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. Well, in this case, they gave us r. R is 2. So this becomes pi times 2 squared. And 2 squared is 4. So that's 4 pi. And then again, don't forget your units. They did it in kilometers. And we are finding the area, so it becomes kilometers squared. So this is 4 pi kilometers squared. Now for this one, again, we're going to find the area, which is pi r squared, but they didn't give us the radius. They only gave us the diameter. Well, we should notice that the diameter is twice as long as the radius. So if we cut this in half, we can get the radius. So half of 8 is 4. So Half of 8 is 4, so that becomes our radius. So then we plug that in. So pi times 4 squared. And then 4 squared is 16. So we get 16 pi as our answer. Again, don't forget your units. So we need to check it's miles, and it is area, so it becomes miles squared. So it's 16 pi miles squared. Now there's a video here for you to check your work when dealing with the area of a circle using Symbol Lab. So go ahead and watch that video now. Let's take a look now at how we can use Symbol Lab to check our work when finding the area of a circle. So we go to Symbol Lab and then go to the circle calculator, and then we're going to click on area. And all it needs is to know what the radius is. So let's say that the radius of our circle is 4. We'll go ahead and put that in and click go. Now down here it shows us exactly how we're supposed to. So we should be multiplying pi r squared. So it shows us that it should be pi 4 squared, which becomes 16 pi. So that means that 16 pi would be the area of this circle. So this is how you can use Symbol Lab to check your work when finding the area of circles. Let's take a look now at the Finding the Area and Circumference of Circles assignment. The assignment begins with the learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, we can see the questions. It says, find the circumference of the figure. Well, we know that the circumference is 2 pi r or pi d. So they gave us an r here, the radius. So we're going to double that. So twice 12 is 24, and then we have pi. So 24 pi inches, which is this one here. Then if we scroll down, let's look at this one. Now we're finding the area. Well, we know that the area of a circle is pi r squared. So we would take 12 and square it. Well, 12 times 12 is 144. And then we keep pi and then make it inches squared. So it'll be 144 pi inches squared, which is this one here. And we'll continue to answer all these questions until we get to the end. Once you get to the end, go ahead and click Next. This will take you to your Before You Go. Go ahead and fill out your Before You Go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.